It depends. It's our fall minute update here. We're going to give a quick breakdown as to what's been going on here since the end of August. So I've got some graphs, some charts, and some wording for you to go through today. So I don't really need to explain too much about what's happening here, but it's probably a little bit more important to know like what all of this means. You can see here that the breakdown, if we start talking about the sales here, year over year, our sales are up a little over what, almost 25% here. So that's definitely a positive thing. And I'm not really too concerned about the sales being down this year. Obviously, March, April, and May were a bit of a bust. So there's not really a point in talking about that. Listings, our listings are only marginally up. They're keeping pace with last year's numbers here, which is one of the reasons that is keeping our market strong. So you can see we're hovering around 2,700 listings here, or new listings, pardon me. The residential sale price as well, slightly down, but pretty much on par with what it was last year. So, to say that our numbers are based or equal to 2019, that's probably a fair assumption. Our inventory levels are down though, which, as I have alluded to, is keeping the prices stable in our market here. One of the things to note, there are different segments of the market that are hot and which ones aren't. And that's based off of the style of the home, the detached to the apartments, as well as the segments of the price points. So here we can see that the detached market is holding very well. The highest market stability and most movement that we have is in the detached of $400,000 to $600,000. Semi-detached not moving as well as the detached is, but there is a warm pocket over in the south, in the southeast quadrant there. Pretty stable there and moving right along. Rojos is doing exactly as they should be doing. Albeit they are down year over year. They are starting to plug along and gain momentum. Part of the reason is they're definitely attractive to your first-time buyers, as well as a certain price point, along with the low interest rates. Apartments, what's going on there? Well, that's still the black sheep, and it has been for the last 5 or 6 years. So, if you're looking at it as an investment, probably not the ideal place to be looking. But in terms of lifestyle and affordability, it still maintains one of the best affordable and one of the most convenient property styles that you can own. Our months of supply are down under 4 months right now. So why don't we take this and break down sort of the segments of the marketplace. I'm going to look at the detached market here, and you can kind of see what's popular, what's hot, what's not, by price range here. That's 350 to 600K, definitely popular here. And one of the things to look at here, you can almost see the months of supply. You can sort of start to see that over the 600 mark. It starts creeping up over the 4-month price range there, but anything under 600 right now is holding steady. So they're well under 4 months worth of inventory there. What else is, you can also see the sales that is, we have the bulk of the sales here, well over 70%. Again, in that 300 to 600 range. Everything else after that still sells if it's priced accordingly, but it definitely doesn't have as many units being sold right now for a detached. Getting into the attached market here, again, if we were to look at those same numbers here, sales by price range, attached, obviously the highest percentage is in that 300 range. Half a duplex, probably one of the best investments in the city that a person could be looking at. Buying, something under 400K, if they're able to suit out the basement, that maintains very popular. Again, 400, not performing too badly, and then we see that jump probably here due to the newer style of infill semi-attached. But the months of supply is relatively low right now, all on par here. You know, once you get into, with the exception of anything trending over that 600, 650K mark, but most of the product is sitting under that adjusted 5-month mark there. And then if you get into the row houses, and if we break this down, our highest price point here, or the most popular, is that product that's under 300K, followed up to product up to 400, and then rounding down under 450 most likely there. So that's why the row houses are kind of doing what they're doing. I mean, the sales are down, but I think partially because of interest rates being so affordable that people can actually, you know, buy up, as opposed to having to settle for something, you know, where they would have had to settle last year due to interest rates being probably a point, you know, 1.5 higher, depending on where, you know, what they could qualify for. And then sort of looking at the apartment sector here, this is really the only one that you'll see, you know, continuous months of income or inventory levels here, you know, most hovering well over 7%, you know, somewhere between that 8 under 10% range. So we have some inventory levels to clean up there before your price point will start to go up. But until then, as I mentioned, it's still one of the most affordable, and in terms of lifestyle, one of the best places that you can buy if you're looking for that inner city tribe to be a part of. And then we talk about the outer lying areas, your Okotoks, your Airdries, your Cochranes. Sales are moving right along there. So, you know, it's, you know, if you're looking for that small town atmosphere, still pretty good places to look to raise a family. One of the things that are keeping prices at bay are the lower inventory levels, or the newer listings, or the lack thereof. So that's kind of your market minute there. And if you have any questions, as always, just remember, we aren't just Calgary agents, but we're born and raised. So if you want to know more in depth about what's going on in your community or the price point that you live in, give us a shout, and we're more than happy to answer those questions for you. Until then, enjoy the rest of the week. Cheers.